And contrary to popular opinion, we are live. Or I'm live. No, I'm not just Max Headroom talking head here. I actually do show up for work every day. And here I am. We have a good stream going. It's chilly outside. And it is the start of a new week. The start of a new beginning. Or is it the end? For Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Bitcoin, oh Bitcoin, you are coming under pressure. Succumbing to that, let's see, we'll get it back into play here. Making a little bit of a push up here this morning. Swimming against the tide. People still have faith. When will you die? Very soon, I imagine. I mean, come on, let's face it. Right now, Bitcoin is severely overvalued. Severely overvalued. It has no utility. It is not a store of value. It is not a currency. It is not an exchange medium. It is nothing. And all it's doing, all it's serving right now, is to prop up a sea of fraud and scams. I'm sure that there are some very well-intentioned ICOs out there and coins, and they have all these wonderful ideas and platitudes. Although very, very few of them, if any, have seen the light of day. All they've served for is to make a few millennials temporarily rich and then poor again. Many people have invested millions of dollars, millions, in mining equipment, only to close up shop. We are seeing, I think, slowly, who are the real controllers and what is the real purpose of Bitcoin and these altcoins. It is not decentralization. It's anything but. It is the ultimate in centralization. Of course, there's still talk of ETFs and backed NASDAQ traded futures. Come on. As if this is all going to draw in Wall Street money. Oh, when the Wall Street money comes in, it will be like a flood, a wave. We won't be able to stop the riches. Lambos and hoes for everyone. What a fucking pipe dream, man. Yeah, that's what it will be. All those Wall Streeters, they're going to pour in the money so that we can all bathe in our riches. Buy villas in the Caribbean. Have a Lambo for every day of the week. Hose and blow. That'll be the appetizer. I mean, this is akin to 72 virgins. Well, I don't know if I can say that. Oh shit, man, I might get banned. What will I do? Well, I didn't mention anything. I mean, I just said virgins. Whoop. Partner calling. How you doing, partner? How you doing? Okay. Shoot. Is this air friendly? Because I am on the air. Well, that's a good question. I mean, that's a damn good question. Trading on days when there's no volatility. Volatility, in my view, is the lifeblood of the market. Without volatility, without movement, there is no market. Yes. Yeah, I mean, we had that big surge in volatility, and I think it made some people very, very excited. But that is all pulled back dramatically. I am live right now. People can't hear you, but they can hear me. No, it's actually, you got to tell them about volatility and that no position is a position. Yeah, capital preservation is key. Yeah. Oh, it's a big rally in Bitcoin. Yes, we're all afraid. Bye. Yeah. So that was my partner in the AI setups. He is also known as the AI mentor inside of our trade room, and he just wanted to get my opinion on volatility and what to do with the trade room in days like this. I mean, they're all yearning for more and more trades. Of course, we've had an incredible streak in the support room or the channel on our Discord channel, our private channel for the AI setups. Since opening, we have yet to have a losing day in that trade room. Now, it doesn't mean no losing trades. It just means that the combination of all the trades has resulted in no losing days yet. And so that's a remarkable accomplishment, and I really tip my hat to the AI mentor in the AI setups channel or trade room. And oh, by the way, today is the very last day that you can get the AI setup subscription at the original price. Tomorrow, we enter into a new era. We're going to be raising the prices. I flashed them earlier this week and over the weekend on the website, traderfutures.com. But now I have it back to what the pricing is, the original pricing. And that is just for today. We're looking for just to fill 5 seats. That's it. We can only take the first 5 people at that price. And then it goes up to the new prices because we're initiating a real marketing program. I've never really done any real marketing program. And so, but even with that marketing program, we're going to limit the number of people that we bring in to about 25 people a month. And that's been basically what we've done, on our own. But we're raising the price. We anticipate a lot of demand. And if we can, at least after this next month, we'll try to increase the number of people that we're bringing in through this marketing. The idea is that we want to have another source that will help churn new interest in the AI setup so that we can concentrate on our support services. And as we bring in, every 25, 30, 40 people that we bring in represents a new level of challenge for us to provide the same level and same quality of service. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to regulate the number of people that come in and to keep that high quality service. And I think that at some point we're going to cap it to the maximum number. And we think that right now we have about 80 people. And I think that the cap should be probably around, 250, 300 people. And I think that is where we're going to level off and then just sort of pull everything back and then just be in maintenance mode. But anyway, today is the last day that you can get the subscription at the original price. Go to traderfutures.com. We're taking the first 5 people. That's it. And then tomorrow is going to be a new day. New day, new business. All right. I did notice that Bitcoin is trying to make, or at least it's trying to erase yesterday's down day. It's trying. So it has, of course, according to, if we were to go, let's see, it went up about 150, maybe 200 points. If we were to go and look at some of the Bitcoin pundits on YouTube, I'm sure that they're just, jumping out of their seats saying, "Here we go! We're going to the moon! Oh my God! Bitcoin is unleashed!" Yeah, I can just hear it. Hear the echoes. All right. So, Yeah, so I was thinking a little bit about, ETFs and backed. A lot of people are talking about backed and NASDAQ futures and these other ETFs. They're saying that eventually there will be an ETF, that eventually the SEC will be beaten down enough where they just can't take it anymore and say, I give up. Okay, you can have your ETF. Oh, yeah, that's what they're going to do. While they're fighting in a sea of despair of just, waves and waves of fraudulent companies where they're busy instituting or implementing orders to these companies to engage in remittance. And I said this back in early 2018. I said 2018 will be the year of remittance. And that's what they're doing. What I mean is that they're forcing these companies to give the money back. That's what they're doing. It's like, give it back or go to jail. Give it back or pay fucking huge fines. Give it back or we're going to slam your ass into the ground. Now, a lot of these ICOs and other companies are trying to make deals, but there's no deal to be made. And in the face of all of this, in the face of FBI cases that are out there, 150 or more, the SEC, with their hands full, just go look at their news feed and search it. I mean, it's like ongoing, constant. And again, in the face of all that, you still have the pundits saying, oh yeah, the SEC, they're softening. Oh yeah, the CFTC, they're like on our side. They're going to approve that ETF one day. And then when they do that, all the Wall Streeters, they're just going to say, oh, the floodgates are open. Let's start pouring money in. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. What a fucking dream world. An ETF, in the first case, is antithetical to everything about Bitcoin. The idea that you would not have... one of the major tenets of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is the freedom from censorship. And what that means is that you have control over your money, your wallet, your keys, right? And that nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can deny you. Nobody. You have the voting rights in this amorphous governance model, which is a bunch of bullshit. There is no governance in Bitcoin, but this is the idea. If an ETF takes off and now you have stewards that are controlling the wallet, the coins, the keys to those Bitcoin, and then they are offering up stock as your share into their ownership of the coins. Do you now have the same rights conferred to them in terms of the control of those keys and those wallets? No, you don't. Do you have the voting rights? Like when, let's say that there's a new fork, a hard fork, or even a soft fork, talking about a new direction of the Bitcoin. And you have this huge voting block now that is represented by this ETF. Do you have the right, or do you have say in that? No, you don't. You don't have any right to say what wallet that you adopt. It's all by the stewards of that ETF. They have the right. And they're going to do it for you. Yeah. That's your right. And so you're under control? No. So the whole idea of an ETF is completely antithetical, as are futures, completely antithetical to the idea of a censorship-free cryptocurrency. It's simply not what was intended. Well, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe what we're trying to do is we're trying to find out, well, just what can we tolerate? What type of currency system would work as an alternative to the fiat system? We tried, going full boot, ultimate sense, and the other problem is that, besides all of that, One of the benefits, though, of having some steward that is controlling and speaking on your behalf, controlling their wallet, and you having zero control, is that you don't have to deal with it. You don't have to deal with the complexity of keys and wallets. And that has been a huge barrier for a lot of people, except for a few geeks and millennials that are a little bit more computer savvy or willing to buy into the dream enough so that they will submit to all that crap. The average person doesn't, though. The average person is delusioned or disillusioned, scared away from the idea of controlling their own keys, being responsible for that. And if they fuck up in the slightest bit, the chance, the risk that they'll lose everything and it will be completely irretrievable. That is not something that people are used to. They want some guarantees, some safety, some protection, some insurance. But there is no insurance with crypto. You fuck up, you lose it. You're done with. It's your responsibility. We're forcing responsibility on you, knowing that you are totally irresponsible. And when you lose it, we're going to say, we told you so. And you're going to say, but that was everything I had. Sorry, you're a loser. Get lost. Yeah, that's the true nature of Bitcoin. That is the true nature. You snooze, you lose, you fuck up a little bit, sorry, go pound sand. No guarantee, no nothing for you. And we've already seen that happen. I mean, there are, there is maybe, I don't know, as much as 10% of all the Bitcoin out there that is lost forever. Forever! Gone! Never to be retrieved, so they say. I would imagine somebody would be able to find it, right? With the right computing power. I mean, if someone can, ultimately break a 256-bit key, they could find a wallet out there that contains a lot of Bitcoin that they could claim their own. Because it's just sitting out there in this sea of bits. Billions of dollars. Well, I'm sorry. That's a misnomer. I mean, to assign any kind of value to it. Billions of bits. Billions of Satoshis out there just waiting for some enterprising individual or group to apply their, their quantum computer or their ultra-fast computer to find some Bitcoins that are out there that were lost and to claim them for their own. Someone will do it. And there will be, as more people come in, there will be more that will get lost. And eventually, we'll turn this into this massive deflationary experience. Massive. All right, let's see what we have for comments here. Good spot for a short. Expecting higher? Oh, I don't know. It might settle around the 3,700 range. There is a value node there, from the recent consolidation. It's possible, but it looks like we're finding resistance getting into that value node. That's this guy right here. Let me draw a rectangle. There's a value node right here. And we're finding some resistance right there, so that's going to be tough to penetrate, especially with all this downward pressure and this negativity. So yeah, it's probably a good place to short. I mean, if you're going to short, this is the place to short. Luigi. The only significant movements in the price of Bitcoin is a whale. Whales do nothing. Price is doing nothing. Well, the whales are doing something. I mean, they recognize 100% that they have to divest. And so what they're trying to do is figure out how they're going to divest and then gather their fiat. Because they can't just sell. There's got to be somebody to sell to. There's got to be a greater fool out there that's willing to buy it. And so what they do is they do these pump ups, and then you get all these people that get all giddy. Oh, it's pumping up. Let's buy. And then they pump it in there, and then they say, oh, thank you. And then they get out. So it's a process of weaning. What is my bottom for Bitcoin? Ask Traitor Ryuto. Well, I think that 1,000 or below, but it's not necessary to have a bottom. I think that there's going to be a range between here and $1,000, and we may hit that 1,000 mark several times. We may go below it, but I have a feeling that we're going. Well, not a feeling. My estimate is that once we work into this range, that we're probably going to end up, the median of part of that range, and then maybe dip down below the median a bit. So that'd be in the $2,000 to $2,500 range. Wahim says, you already see Enigma? I swear, is the last time I ask this month. I am purposefully ignoring that because I see no value in it. I see no value in any altcoin. Any. I don't know how much more clear I can be to that. I mean, when you see me calling you about Enigma and there is no call, you'll know it's me. Crypto John says, Bitcoin needs to be big enough to take whatever is thrown at it, including ETFs. I don't understand what that means. It needs to be big enough? Eugene McFarlane. Ernie. This dude out there that has a supercomputer sitting in ice to keep it cool as he runs it 24 hours a day to crack his private key. Gonna find his name. Yeah, so he has his own little quantum computer, and he has, his liquid nitrogen cooling it down, and I don't know how he programs it. I mean, IBM and a few other services, there are people out there with a online or time-based quantum computer that you can use. No one knows how to use it, though. And the more you use it, the greater influence or randomness that you input into it. Kovrig Christian wants to know what Santa brought me for last Christmas. Santa didn't bring me anything. Santa doesn't come to our house. What did he bring me? What did I get? I don't know what I got. We have, we just try to enjoy each other here. Do you have a hobby growing hydroponics? Well, you don't grow hydroponics. Hydroponics is the technology that you use to grow something. Ask CT Trey. So the answer is yes. And it's hard to see behind this curtain, but over here, I'm sure you've seen, there is more than one tent back there, grow rooms. So Eugene has found his name, the guy with the supercomputer. His name is Philip Neumeier, and his supercomputer sits on ice as he tries to brute force his private key that he's lost. That's going to be tough. He'll be more likely to find other lost keys. Or just other keys. Are you planning to buy Bitcoin in the 1K range you speak of? Well, Kim, I have had a plan to accumulate Bitcoin after it gets below 2,000. Originally, it was below 4,000, but then when I saw it drop so quickly, I really didn't think it would drop that quickly. And then I decided that I better make it 2,000. I mean, why take a 50% haircut when I don't have to? So there will be a plan to progressively buy more as it gets from 2,000 down to 1,000 and below. No Santa? What kind of Christmas is that? Well, when you live in a Jewish household, that's the kind of Christmas it is. I'm not particularly Jewish, and quite frankly, even most of my family, we're not very religious, but we certainly don't celebrate Christmas. I mean, we did Hanukkah for many years, but once the kids got bigger, we kind of did away with that. Now we just basically engage in the family rituals and go over for dinner and stuff. If there are quantum computers, it will be the end of the whole current system, not just for Bitcoin. The Bitcoin code can be changed to resist. I wouldn't say that. First of all, there are quantum computers. They are out there that you can actually rent time on them right now if you can figure out how to program them. Of course, most people are using them for, well, experimentation and other things. So, yeah, I wouldn't bet on what you're saying there anytime soon. And it'll take decades for that whole quantum, or the availability of quantum computers to the average person to be a reality. Yeah. So there's a tiny little bounce. It propped up, took away yesterday's drawdown, but that's all right. We're still, I mean, that's perfectly normal. If it comes up higher, I'm still not, look, it's got to go up a long ways before I start thinking that there's going to be any kind of, I don't know, contrary move. Yeah, free access to a quantum computer means nothing. It really doesn't. I mean, seriously. Show me anybody that's doing anything of any significance with a quantum computer, and you would think that if it was in such a commodity that, or a useful thing, that people would be out there trying to crack these codes. But they're not, and they can't. There is no practical use for these things other than as a hobby item. And it's not just some college. There are like I said, there are actual services. IBM has one of them. There are, I think, 2 or 3. All right. So I think that we've gone over this enough. This is the end of Bitcoin, but it is the beginning of the best of times. I think Bitcoin will live on. It just won't live up to the expectations of all those that so revere it. There will be other things that will take its place. It will certainly not live on in its current form. Now, it's possible that Bitcoin becomes modified into something that is tolerable, that can work in our current system. That's always a possibility. But I think it's more likely that something else will come along, some other thing, something more popular, something better, that will have all kinds of caveats around it too, and we'll all argue over that, and it will be this perpetual search for an alternative currency. And there'll probably be many alternative currencies, and we'll learn along the way. In the meantime, we can enjoy the precipice of the one of the greatest bull runs in human history that is commencing right now, that most people can't see, but it is here. Step on board. Robbie Nelson says, I think it's a D wave. A D wave being part of a Fibonacci wave, A, B, C, D. So that means we need the E wave to complete the 5 waves down? Yeah, I don't think so. Kim says, what do you think about shorting with leverage on exchanges like BitMEX versus waiting and buying, accumulating below? No, that is like one of the dumbest ideas I could possibly imagine. Leveraging yourself on Bitcoin on an item that is sporadically and randomly, well, not randomly, but sporadically manipulated by people who have not your best interest in mind. That leverage will wipe you out when you least expect it. I'm nuts. Bitcoin has only just begun. Yeah, it's only just begun for the past 10 years. You're the one that's fucking an idiot. Oh, the D-Wave in the quantum computer. I see what you're saying. But I'm telling you, I'm telling you right out, quantum computers are not ready for prime time. They won't be ready for prime time for a long, long time. Long time. Now, you can think whatever you would like, but you're wrong. If you think other than what I just said. Quantum computers are not ready for prime time. Nobody is if they were, people would be using them in business, but they're not. They're experimenting with them. They are not practical yet, and they won't be practical for quite some time. That's just the way it is. You can believe it or not. I really, really don't care. There's one of my mentors that says, I don't give a fuck what you think when I know that I'm right. The next year, you'll be accepting tips with Lightning. Lightning being the off-chain network for Bitcoin that is supposed to be its savior. I just, so humor filled. I mean, it's just so funny. Ernie, how do you fight depression? Well, I don't have depression. I've never been depressed, as far as I know. Certainly not clinical depression. I mean, there have been times where I felt depressed. The only time I really felt depressed was about 3 years ago during the winter, this ungodly winter that we had, and I was wondering when it was going to get over. But that wasn't real depression. That was just being incredulous on the amount of snow that we got here, and wondering when it was all going to be over, and not being able to get outside and and take advantage of what I was hoping for the coming spring. It just couldn't come fast enough. But that in no way was a real depression. That was just my attachment for warm weather. But yeah, I have no depression. Ernie FOMO'd in 1.5 years ago, and now he thinks that Bitcoin is dead because the price is down, just like CNBC. Bitcoin buyer. BTC buyer. Do you think there will be a better short entry from now? No, I think that this is a good short entry. It's an okay. It's a pullback from the downward trend that it started, and it's hitting right up against a very clear resistance zone that I have marked off here. Right there. That mark right there. Very, very clear. That volume node, the bottom of that volume node. That doesn't mean go all in and short there. What it means is that that's a good, clear resistance zone for a short. What's funny about cheap instant tips? If you set up a Lightning wallet, I'll tip you. That's okay. You can keep your Lightning money. Well, thank you, CT Trey. I appreciate that. So, CT, you had asked about hydroponics, and yes, I would say that. Well, my daughter's really the master grower. I've helped her along the way. I built the original systems. We've built many systems, and now she just is perpetuating grow after grow. I get involved with at least 1 or 2 grows during the year. I'll probably start some seedlings now and germinate them and get them into some form so that by springtime I can bring them outside. I have a garden compost pile that I'll put a couple out there and let them grow through the summer like I did last summer. But we have our grow rooms here, and we used to be into hydroponics, every type of system imaginable, and found that organics and living soil is by far superior to hydroponics. In terms of, now I'm not talking about in terms of a yield or frequency of yield, but I'm talking about in terms of just ultimate quality per yield. The terp profiles and the quality of the weed is just miles and miles ahead of any hydroponic stuff that you could do. And I'm sure that there's plenty of people out there that are going to disagree, but we've already gone through it. We've gone through all the different hydroponic systems and tested them inside and out with many different types of grows. And I wasn't a believer in soil or till-less soil or organic soil or living soil. But I am now. It also reduces the risk of your grow dramatically, except for pests. So you have to take a little extra care in terms of limiting the risk around pests. But that's not hard. Bitcoin Bubbles says, okay, looks like my tips will go to those who understand. You accept Lightning someday, and I'll tip you because I'm a bull that loves to tip the bears. Well, I do have a tip line. I do. You can tip me with crypto. I don't have Lightning, but I do, and I do accept crypto as payment for many of my services. As a matter of fact, I will show you. So if you are willing to tip me, I will be willing to accept it. All right, I gotta get the 2FA code here. Yeah, it's the quick POS. There it is. Hold on. I'm almost there. You don't clone plants? Yeah, of course. We clone, but only when we're bringing in new plants that have proven genetics and proven resistance to pests. Once in a while, we'll clone our own stuff, but we're more interested in getting the best seeds, the best genetics that we possibly can. I think this will do here. Yeah, that's it. So, if you want to tip trader of futures.com/coinpay. There's the tip. We'll see if you really mean business. Richard Wizardry, you don't clone plants? No. Yes, we do, but rarely. CT Trade, very cool. Interesting points on soil, etc. Hydroponics is a great hobby. We don't look at any of this as a hobby per se, although we're not looking to make money off of it. This is all research that we do. My daughter is a master grower, and so we're doing research. You saw the grow tent before, so you had to ask. Actually, 2 of them here. And yes, and they are gorilla tents. We only have the best here. All of our equipment, including the filtration systems, the carbon dioxide regulators and systems and delivery systems, the lighting, the fans, everything. The tents are all first class here. We spent a lot of money on them. So they're really BCH, no Bitcoin. What are you talking about? I'm pretty sure there is no BCH in here. Or no Bitcoin? There's Bitcoin. I don't know what you're talking about. Boy, they give you so many choices in this. This is crazy. So the other way that I can be paid is, here, I'll give you more choices. If you want choices. Here's another way. Here's my one of my BTC wallets. There you go. So you said it, man. There it is. Uh-oh. CT Trey says, I'm in the hydroponic business myself and develop products like systems. Maybe I can send your daughter some items to test since she's a master grower. Sorry for being off topic here, everyone. No, actually, marijuana is definitely on topic, but maybe not today. But I love talking about it. I have built just about every system that you can imagine. You know, drip systems, deep water culture, deep water recirculating, ebb and flow, fill and drain, you name it, I've done it in many different variations. I've used sluckets with bottom drain systems, really just about everything. And we've grown some fantastic stuff using all those different types of systems. The biggest problem with the hydroponic systems is risk. Fill and drain probably has the least amount of risk. That's also known as an ebb and flow system, and that's because, well, unless you can't drain, but because you only fill or flood periodically, you're not putting the plants in a position where they could get root rot, and then you drain, and then they do their thing. And if the pump goes offline, or if there's a problem, then unless you're in a fill, if you're in a fill mode and the pump goes offline and you don't catch it for a long time, you could potentially have a problem. But if the pump goes offline and for a few hours or even a day, and you miss a drain cycle or a flood cycle, it's not a big deal. But if you're in a constant recirculating system or in a deep water culture system and the pumps go, your aeration goes or anything like that, and you don't notice it for a few hours, you could be in big trouble with your plants, and you could have literally months of work go down the drain very quickly. And that's the risk of hydroponics. And I'm not saying that those risks can't be mitigated. They can, but it is the other risk that you have is power. If the power goes out, and that happens a lot. Well, at least where I live, only because I live in the middle of the woods and I've got a lot of trees around here, and we've had a lot of outages, and we're usually the last people for the power companies to come and save. Well, I just did post my Bitcoin address right there. That's what I just did. Just posted it. But I don't see anybody paying me any Bitcoin or anything right now. So, Asdirt, you're right. Number one, thinks Bitcoin is useless and that it will go down. Yeah, I do think that. And number two, wants donations in Bitcoin whenever possible. Pick one. No, both. I pick both. Because as soon as I get that donation, what do you think I'm going to do with it? Money's money, value's value. If I can turn it into something, I'll turn it into something. A real quantum PC would crack any 256-bit instant. No need to sit and cool. Well, the problem is that if that were true, people would have done it, and they haven't done it. But, in theory, that should be able to be done, but it's not. It hasn't been done. So, as was it Yogi Berra once said, that in theory, practice should work. In practice, it doesn't. All right. So now we're at almost an hour. I want to quit here while the quitting's good. I want to thank everybody for showing up. And again, a reminder that today is the last day that you can get in at the original price that I had set for the AI alerts, the artificial intelligence alerts, something that we call the embodiment because it embodies a great pool of knowledge and experience into this system, and it's proven itself. And the reason why today's the last day at that price is because we're engaging in a marketing program, and we expect a higher degree of demand, and so therefore we're raising the prices to commensurate that demand. I mean, there already is a demand, but even without doing any marketing. But now that we're doing marketing, need to Push it up a little bit. All right. I want to thank everybody very much. We'll see you next time. I got to find the stop streaming button. There it is. Adios, amigos. Take care.